So if you haven't seen the trailer for Deadpool 3, the second one, go see it now. Then come back. I'll go into a lot more details and things I've heard other people talking about within it. But let's get to it. Leave now. Okay, so if you have watched it, man, it's starting off in a bar like that. Is it just me, or is that kind of resembling that video game that they gave us to kind of little teaser trailer of Wolverine in a bar? It kind of had like that mode on it, but you can tell he's depressed. It does not hold back. And now through the rest of the trailer, they describe things about how he let his whole world down, and obviously something in the third act's going to happen where we get some kind of flashback, but we'll see where this all goes. But man, Whiskey Dick of the Claws is common for Wolverines above the age of 40. Like, wow. They aren't holding back with the crude humor, and I love it. I'm glad we're having a really, really top-level adult-styled film, finally, for the MCU. Like, dude, the blood on killing those TVA agents was very unexpected. As well as all the cussing and references to stuff. Like, even though they said not to bring up drugs, oh, they do. They definitely do. Man, the gun barrel saying smile and wait for the flash. Like, Logan just goes, that was, I don't know if that's supposed to be like a I'm a badass moment like The Crow, or if that's supposed to be a please end it. And either way, that was really well done. I definitely enjoyed that. But what happened to Logan's world? Like, we know that this isn't an animated version that he came from, or he would, we would see when he's referring back to that or anything. We would have kind of noticed that. This is definitely not the Wolverine from X-Men 97. I doubt this is the one from the post-credit scene of Captain Marvel. Or, sorry, The Marvels. But we'll see. I'm definitely interested to see what all happened. But those stone structures, like I heard someone mention that they were potentially the gravestones, but like, dude, those are massive. And if you look at the slits that are in between them, you almost kind of expect like an energy barrier to kind of pop through. But I don't know. It kind of gives off that kind of sci-fi energy, like wall or barrier kind of look to it. Wolverine stabbing Deadpool in the crotch, like, man, that you can call that a low blow, but not necessarily. It's more like a low stab. But man, they don't hold back on the violence at all. And then him unloading his guns into his ribs, like, man, this is gonna be bloody. This is gonna be violent. Like, it's amazing watching all the haters sitting there trying to bring up stuff like, oh man, we have, I don't even remember her name right now, but the pop star that's getting in, Taylor Swift, that's it. Everyone's all going like, nobody wants this, Marvel's in shambles, it's failing, it's the MCU. Why? Because Dazzler was a character in the comics that was made to represent a pop star character, so it's literally perfect. And I doubt they're bringing her in long term. This is probably a one-off thing, like a lot of the characters in this movie. But people are just going, oh, she can't act. I mean, there's been a few characters that didn't really have an acting career that came into movies, and now they're top of the line actors. So I'm not saying I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. I'm not saying I have huge hopes for being great. But let's be real. You don't know. And the people saying, oh my god, it's going to be woke, another woke female. Really? Like, for what? Woke doesn't mean putting a female in the movie. Like, there's no evidence you have. You are not somebody that is in the whole MCU and can determine what the script says. You have no clue. So all these people out there, they're just blatant haters. They're fake fans or anti-fans. When you see them quoting stuff like this, just ask them for evidence. And when they can't prove any, bring any to the table, tell them to shut up. Because they obviously can't put it up. But yeah, I guess we are going to get a third act flashback. Like, I wrote that down because of my opinion earlier and watching it, but then they directly outright say it. So yeah, in the third act, we're going to get a flashback of what happened to his world. I'm wondering if this has to do with Cassandra Nova. But on that, man, her actually being in here is just, that's intense. Um, the Deadpool getting golden guns. I don't know about that one in the comics, but I don't really care. They look legit. Like, it makes me think of, like there's gonna be something special to him, or like he steals them from somebody. Like, something's got to be interesting. You only see him with those in the scene where they're walking into town together. Um, Dude, the photo of the X-Men from Deadpool 2, that's interesting. I want to see the rest of that scene. Like, is he connected to that world? Because that's his world. But is there like a variant where, because he looked like he looked at it and was like recognizing some characters. So there's got to be some connection there. We're just not able to see it yet. And Cassandra Nova confirmed is pretty cool. Like, seeing her telepathy and controlling Wolverine's claws, like, whoo. He stands as much chance against her as he would against Magneto. Both of them can control his body. So I'm very interested to see how that scene goes. Or is, that might be a Wolverine we see die. The rumor is we're going to see several different iterations of Wolverine, where probably a few or more Hugh Jackman's playing. But we already know we got some other actors playing him. And like, we got ones like Dogpool. So we're probably getting some other of the variants, not those two characters, not just the ones we've seen. Oh, the giant Ant-Man helmet and skull. Like, is it just me, or does it look like that's the rest of his body out behind him? And if so, is this one of those universes that, he got knocked out by one of the other Kings? I'm kind of hoping that we get some kind of King interaction, or at least hint, or someone's story being involved with them, something. I really want this to not just give up on Kang because of everything that happened with the actor. This could really build up to being something really cool, and here's to hoping it goes there. I do think we're going to be able to see Elias in action. There's definitely multiple scenes now from the original trailer that focused on Deadpool, and we see him moving across the background in this new trailer that's focusing on Wolverine. So I'm very interested to see how this works out. But a big interesting one is, who made the sling portal? Like, where does that come from? Is Doctor Strange going to be here? Is, like, I don't know any other wizards that have been anywhere except the MCU. So this could be interesting. This actually isn't completely in the open. I mean, we have seen in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, there's actually a sorcerer that's an alien. And so that's very interesting. We can see that the sorcery works very similar, if not identical, no matter where it's used, because it's more or less a fabric of reality that they're manipulating. So I'm kind of curious to see who's behind that and who the actual sorcerer is. Man, that cocaine is the one thing Feige said is off limits. They know all the slang terms. They have a list. It's like, man, white girl interrupted, forest bump. Do you want to build a snowman? Yes, but I can't. Like, that's fucking great. And so, like, honestly, this is going to be amazing. I'm not going to sit there and, try and make a bet on how much money this is going to make. But if you are out there saying this movie's going to flop, watch the trailer. Actually pay attention. Just because it's Disney doesn't mean it's going to fail. Just because you never liked some characters from the comics doesn't mean that if they put them in live action, that they're not going to be good. No one knew who Guardians of the Galaxy was, but everyone nowadays knows who Deadpool and Wolverine is. So trust me, if Guardians of the Galaxy can succeed, if Doctor Strange can succeed and become top-tier popular characters, 2 top-tier popular characters can so bring the money. So all I have to say for this is, let's fucking go!